Alright, let's go to these PTF suggestions. The first suggestion is by Brock355, the aircraft engineering company, whatever that says, is presenting you the newest version of our helicopters. Well, that gave me a brain tumor. Let's go ahead and hop right in. Before we look at these concussions, please subscribe to Roblox content every single day. Would highly appreciate it. Only a small percentage of you are subscribed, so right here, please do consider subscribing. Hit the bell for notifications to never miss an upload. Also the video, so we can to mark rest of the video. If you haven't watched any of these videos, I rate PTF suggestions off the PTC Discord server on a scale from 1 through 10. Got it? Seems simple, unless you would be in preschool. Let's go. The first suggestion is by Regamer2012. Says interiors to aircraft as the advanced. I think the interiors should too, so the cruise mode can be actually used. In addition to it, we could get working galleys so people are able to actually offer in-flight service. Now, I love the idea about this, especially for PTFS airlines. I don't know if we get working galleys, but having that as like a new section of roleplay, especially for the airlines, that would be amazing. Also, if you think it's laggy, no, if 3D cockpits are not laggy, this will not be laggy at all. There's a lot of purpose and a lot of uses for this, so I have to give this session a 9 out of 10. Mega Power Lolio says, please add the Freeze Tricolore. So I believe this is in an Italian Air Force display, just like we have the Thunderbirds here, or the Blue Angels, or the Red Arrows. Now this does mean they have to add a new plane, which is the Aermacchi MB329, which also is a good purpose because I think we don't have Italian aircraft in the game. Now the PTFS display team community is bargaining, so adding a new display team to the squad would be certainly interesting. Also, I can already see his contrast being absolutely phenomenal. It's a 9 out of 10 for me. It sounds really cool. Not Noob 8 says Nakajima Ki-43 Hayabusa from the Japanese Army Air Force. Now, this was a World War II aircraft for the Japanese, which had the same purpose as the A670. For kamikaze, they were used for bombings, and if you really think about it, Orange is not going to add similar aircraft. Like, for example, they're not going to add different variants of the 737, so you're not going to have, I think we have the 737-400 in the game, he's not going to add winglets and say the 737-800. I'm sorry, this aircraft is very similar to the A670, which means it's probably not viable. Though we do need more World War II aircraft in the game, unfortunately this is not it. It's a 4 out of 10 here for me. We have a double whammy with Comet, WoTB, Fairchild, Swearingen, Metroliner 3. And the second suggestion is by Prototype Brian 394 saying add the Beechcraft King Air 350. Now these two aircraft are light aircraft, and honestly, personally, I would love more light aircraft in the game, and honestly, it would be a great addition. Do you think that the regular player would actually use them? I mean, look at seaplanes. They were kind of a light aircraft. Do you see anyone use seaplanes anymore? No. So I'm in the middle here in the fence. I like the idea of adding more light aircraft, just like the Beechcraft and the Metroliner. But does the community want it? I don't know. I'll give this session a 6 out of 10. I'm on the fence a bit. I think a light aircraft update would be cool, but I don't know what the community wants. Welcome to Halftime Fellas, where we're gonna go ahead and look at Nana. Oh, what is this? Yes, it's my alarm tone. Yeah, this is my alarm clock. My bad. We'll be looking at not really important updates. It's just like little small additions. And we're gonna go ahead and rank them as well. Emerald says realistic windows instead of rectangular windows. I don't really care about it, but yeah, it could be more realistic, I guess. 7 out of 10 for me. Retro Southwest scheme for the 737 by the military machine. It would be really cool. We have a Turkish Airlines retro. We have a American Airlines retro. We have a United retro. I think we could use a Southwest retro as well, as honestly the Desert Gold livery would be certainly interesting. 8 out of 10 here. Mr. Little Huffy says, after the snow clears, turn Israeli and the surrounding area back to desert so it can just resemble a Dubai, Qatar, Middle East area. I don't even know what happened to Israeli, honestly. It's now green, which kind of weird because I remember it, especially Al Najaf. Al Najaf is yellow and deserty, and then when you go a little bit close, it's green. It's not how the world's climates work. Bring it back, Orange. Bring it back. 10 out of 10 here. No. With that, fellas, we'll be looking at the last 6 suggestions right now. Yago, Airbus A380, so something that would really revolutionize the game would be camera angles. Camera angles would be so beneficial for YouTubers like me to create PTFS videos. Hey, I'm a PTFS YouTuber too. Please subscribe, thank you. It would be also really cool for role plays and stuff and recording, and it would be nice for other stuff. Now, I review Roblox Airlines as well, alongside PTFS content, and on some infotainments, they have camera angles. The issue with that is that you have to go on every single aircraft and say, camera here on your left wing, camera here on your right wing, camera here in the cockpit. Do you know how much camera angles you're supposed to add? There are like 70 plus aircraft in the no, it's gonna, if it's gonna have everything added, I don't know. Though at the same time, as a YouTuber, this would be also beneficial, especially for example, Wes. He does his like Roblox aviation movies inside PTFS. That would be also beneficial. I don't know. I'll give it a 7 out of 10 here. Doodle Penguin 5 says, oh, it's a repost. Oh goodness. My idea is that in your cockpits, when you're ever in range in a certain airspace, for example Perth, GR, Grinabik, a screen on the side displays a chart of the airport. It's like a navigational tablet in almost all commercial planes. You could also display runway numbers and green or red, and red means closed or green is active, so that way it should hopefully hold people from taking off one side and landing from the other. Now this is interesting because, let's talk about the minimap first. I'm advocating, though it's a very small idea, that you should have at least access as a pilot to have all the airport charts at PTFS. If you don't know of the updated airport charts, it's at ptfs.xyz. Not an IP grabber, fellas, it's true. Also, a runway numbers thing, that would be do a lot of stuff and would be nice for ATC communication. I don't know. I don't know how you're supposed to code it, but I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It's gonna be interesting, and I don't know if anyone would actually use it. It's gonna be great for roleplay and like actual ATC 24 and stuff, but at the same time, I'm on the fence here too. Aviator Max 2020 says for ATC 24, a ATC control zone edition like the minimap would be something like this. Center/read controls for ATC 24, so it will be only, bounded, only like inside of a mark of the airport. For example, this pentagon shape is for Greater Rockford, Mellor, Airbase Gary, and all those airports. The ATC can only communicate there. Now, I'm not saying only for ATC 24, I think they should also add it to the main game. For example, when you get to the ATC tower, there will be a second chat pop-up on the thing where the chat box is, and what we could do is you can switch back and forth from the main game, which you can talk to the whole server, and then you go to the other chat, which only confines to your airport or the island itself. The reason is also because of contact tower from unrealistic distance. Why should you communicate someone at South Matona if you're at Ijirani? It doesn't make any sense. It also includes, better communication between ATC and, planes. It doesn't have to have any confusion with others. Honestly, I like the idea. It doesn't seem hard to add, especially to the main game. It's more viable in ATC 24, but especially for actual public service, it's amazing. I have to give this session an 8 out of 10 here. Out the Brower 73 says Il-62. Now this aircraft is from Russia and the Soviet era, and this actually competed with the 707 and DC-8. The 707 DC-8 is part of the golden age of aviation, and since we have a little hole to fill in that, I think the Il-62 would be awesome. Also, the only two Eastern Russian, those type of aircraft manufacturers who have planes in PTFS is the MiG-15 and the Sukhoi Su-27, both military jets, not commercial. Though an Antonov AN-225 or a Sukhoi Superjet 100, also it's interesting for me. I think the community would actually want it too. I have to get a session at 10 out of 10 here. And the final suggestion is by Virtual Reality with Guangzhou Yursun Airport, aka Saba, aka the shortest runway in the world, and Princess Juliana Airport by pilot JGP10. Guess what? I don't even need to rate this because I made a whole video on it, and me predicting that Orange will be adding one of those airports or maybe other Caribbean airports in PTFS in the next update. That will be on the end screen that will appear right now. But that's basically it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click the subscribe video. End screen videos will appear on the screen right now. And guys, thanks for watching. And as always, take flight. Adios.